Hey guys, Courtney Mermaid here with another tail painting tutorial video. I've actually already started on what I'm doing today, but because I wasn't actually thinking of filming this part, but then I was like, oh, you know what? This is going to be a question. What I'm doing right here is totally going to be a question because everybody wants to know how to get the streaking on the actual Fluke. Let me show you. Now, of course, I am referring, and though it's actually kind of hard to see on this tail, unless you're actually up close, but the shiny lines and stuff that go through it, and also the blendy stuff here. So, Alfie, get your foot out of your face. Seriously? Alfie's got his foot like he's chewing his entire... I know, you're gonna get your nails clipped. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Anyways. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. It's a little bit hard to see on this tail because this tail's really light, but you will be able to see it on this one because this one is a definite gradient and it looks more like that. So like a longer gradient. And the streaking. Now the streaking, the shiny streaks that run up to give it like a little bit of texture, that I do at the very, not at the very end, but towards the end, because I do this in stages, right? I do like all the base first, and then all the scales, and then the little details, and then the sequins, and then the thing, and the thing, and the thing. There's a whole bunch of steps. So I don't really want to talk a super huge amount here, so let's just dive right in. Grab your tail, grab your paints, your brushes. I'm not putting a smock on because it's like 32 degrees in my apartment and it's hot. I'ma die. And if I get paint on this, my mermaid shirt, whatever. Y'all know what I do. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this sucker around so you can see what I'm doing, and away we go. Alright, so you can see as I've started, you want to finish the ridges on the sides first, and of course do that with your monofin in there. You can use a blow dryer to set it faster. This was wet and now it's dry. So yeah, so start at the base, work your way up. You're going to load your brush up. The brush, don't have any water in your brush. Your brush should be dry at this point because you want to have this like the streaking, okay? You want to like go up and like pull and left and pull and left and pull and left. And if you're getting like little other colored bits, because this was a mixture, if you did a mixture, you might get some white that kind of comes through. You might get some of the other colors that you used coming through, but that's fine. For the sides, you're just going to hug in pretty tight. It's going to be hard for you guys to see, but you're just going to hug really close into the line. Remember that the little imperfections are what makes the tail really nice, so you don't have to feel like super bad if you have a little boo-boo or you have a little area where a different color came through. Like, you know, try and think of your tail as sort of a natural thing. It's not going to be 100% perfect on every side. I mean, who is? and don't be like, oh, so-and-so is, because chances are it's Photoshop, okay? Okay, cool. A trick, why I look like I'm drinking tea on my tail, putting your, and this my mom taught me this, put your pinky down as stability, because I shake. I have, I don't know why I shake, but I shake a lot all the time. So I put my pinky or my pinky's knuckle down to get a little bit of articulation, and it just makes it a little bit easier to use the brush. And if you don't believe me, just try it, and then you're gonna be like, oh, she actually does know what she's talking about. And then I'm gonna laugh, and it's gonna be awesome. So you'll see some of the, oh, you can't really see. Okay, well anyways, some of the white that I used to mix this is coming through. No, it's not the fabric, it's actually the white paint. And that's totally okay, because remember, this is getting a full-on second, like this portion is all getting that silvery bluey paint that I was using. So that's, yeah, that's something you gotta keep in mind. I feel kind of like Bob Ross when I do this. We don't make mistakes, we just have happy accidents. I don't think you guys have any idea how much Bob Ross actually influences like what I do. I used to watch him when I was a kid. And, yeah. when I spent time at my grandma's place, I'd watch him on her really old TV that I loved downstairs in her basement. And I learned so much from that guy. Kind of weird, you know? Kind of makes me kind of sad because he's one of those people that I'll never get to tell, like, dude, you know, you had an impact. Has anybody seen the remix that he did, the Bob Ross remix that makes me like the happiest person ever? Okay, so I'm gonna grab a second brush. Remember to cover up your paints when you're not using them. Okay, now I'm going in with the next color. So this guy's brand new. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at all that glorious gooiness. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god, so excited. Okay, this is my favorite part, you guys. Okay, so, all right, this is actually probably the scariest part of doing a mermaid tail. I recommend not leaving this until the end. Just do it, just suck it up, power through, and now I'm gonna have to stop talking because this is serious business and I won't function otherwise. So, also grab a sponge because you may in fact need a sponge for this. I haven't decided if I need a sponge for it yet. And again, you kind of dig in and drag down. Dig in and drag down, okay? Oh, you can't see what the heck I'm doing because there's a big bucket of paint in the way. Arr! Weird working on a tail that's this color. It's been so long since I've worked on a green tail. Like, all of my old tails used to be green because that was kind of my color scheme. And then I made my goldfish tail and that was totally like different. And by now you're starting to think, oh Lord, what have I done? I've made a huge mess. Just keep going, okay? Trust me, just keep going. Don't stop. Basically, if you're not thinking you've made a huge mess, you're not doing it right, okay? Okay, one more brush. I need to mix a little bit more paint. Okay, so now I need to mix a color that's somewhat in between the two of them, which is why you always want a buttload extra. Okay, okay, cool. So. Okay, so I've mixed a color somewhere in the middle, and I'm basically going to use it as well as the other two colors to blend it all in together, okay? So here we go. And it works best if you do this while all the paint is still wet. Don't wait to do this until later, you'll ruin it. Our neighbor's dog sounds so sad. It's bumming me out pretty hard, guys. This is really cute shepherd something something mix. Just like a, okay, this is gonna sound hysterical, but I think it's a shepherd Frenchie mix. I don't know if that's right, but anyways, super cute little dog, but it's been screaming. She's been screaming for like an hour now, and I feel really bad. I want to like go and give her a hug, but I don't really want to break into their apartment. It's just bumming me out. She did a sad little baby. So that's the goal. That's the goal anyways. This is pretty challenging. It's not super difficult, but if you are unsure of your abilities to do this, you should probably do a test first. Alright, and if you're going to try using a sponge, do I use it wet? I can't remember how I was doing this before. Yeah, make it wet. Wring it out really well. Remember, some streaking in the tail, like in the thing, that's okay. That's actually like what we want. Okay, and I have green paint everywhere. Oh, it's all over me. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. I'm gonna go over it, the white like bits, that's actually the light reflecting off the wet paint. You can't super see that this is darker. This shows up a lot darker in real life where I'm actually living here, haha, not in YouTube land. And this will still get that lighter, including this. This is not going to stay clear. So yeah, this is a lot of just blending with 3 brushes on the go, spoon, knife, sponge. The sponge I didn't use a whole lot. The sponge is good for dragging down, but once you've dragged it down, it's gonna pick up some of the lighter paint and pop it up in here. You can use this like an eraser, and if you make a little boo-boo, you can actually kind of just like rub it out a little bit, which is kind of cool. So, pro tip. Yeah, so you can see where something like this would take a while now, because now I have to let this set and dry. I'm probably gonna sit here with a blow dryer to try and help it go faster. But you're gonna wanna wait till it's completely dry, or you're gonna smudge it and make a mess of it when you flip it over to do the other side, because yes, you get to do this twice. All this blending and stuff, and you're gonna be like, I don't know if I can do that again, which is why you wanna do it as soon as possible. You don't wanna leave like 3 weeks in between when you did it the first time and you did it the second time, because if you have like a sneaky little way of doing something, you're probably gonna forget it if you're like me. So I'm gonna sit here with the blow dryer, and in a couple of hours it's gonna set. Not a couple of hours, maybe an hour. It'll be ready to go for the next bit. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna leave this here for now. Again, if you have questions or anything on what I've covered so far, I'm doing this in chunks just because for me to do one big long painting video, it would be like more than an hour-long video, and I don't really know how many of you are actually going to want to sit through when you want to just see like chunks of what I'm working on. Maybe you had a specific question about just one area, so I'm going to keep doing this like I'm doing it. And making sure the windows aren't open, because my neighbors are probably thinking, who is she talking to? You guys. Okay. Yeah, so questions, comments, anything like that, leave it in the comment section down below. If you haven't seen the first video, I will link that below as well, so you can check that out. I talk about what kind of paints I'm using, the tools, equipment, whatever, setup. And of course, if you're looking for any information on how I actually made the tail, for that you're gonna want to check out mermaidschool.ca, because everything's nicely categorized there, so you're not having to sift through all of my YouTube videos. Plus, I include supplementary material, other explanations, and other cool tips and tricks and things on that site. So again, that was mermaidschool.ca. And of course, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, lots of other cool places. And also don't forget that mermaidschool.ca and all these videos that I do are actually in part sponsored by my lovely patrons on Patreon. If you guys haven't checked me out on Patreon yet, I'd love it if you would, to see what I'm up to. I give, depending on like the tier, I'll give special little sneak peeks to the videos. You get early access to my videos before everybody else. And that kind of cool stuff. So yeah, so a huge thanks to all my patrons. You guys know I love you. You guys are all the best, supporting this crazy mermaid, making this silly stuff and having fun. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to it. Happy tail making, happy swimming, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.